Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Kyle from the TF Review, and welcome to another edition of Megazord Monday. On this episode, we're taking our look at the final Megazord from Power Rangers Zeo. This is Pyramidas. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video review. So when this toy was released in 1996, it was literally the biggest Power Ranger toy that we'd ever seen, and today it's still one of the biggest. I mean, it is based on a pyramid, for goodness sake, and that does definitely show in its pyramid mode. Now, in its pyramid mode, it doesn't really do that much. It rolls, and it looks good rolling, and that's essentially the only thing that this pyramid mode does do. But it's worth noting that the detail on this mode is really, really well done. It's got an amazing amount of panel line detail kind of spun throughout, and essentially anywhere you can look for detail, you will find it. Even kind of on the undercarriage itself and under the arms, it's got just a ridiculous amount of detail. Now, for a size comparison of Pyramidas, just in its pyramid mode, here he is standing next to the original Legacy Megazord. And we can see they're both roughly similar height. Of course, Pyramidas is a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter in stature, but that doesn't mean this thing is small. It is, in fact, fairly gigantic. Now, while the pyramid mode is an excellent display piece, it does manage to get even better. So this is also the main carrier Zord for Power Rangers Zeo. So, let's go ahead and let's check out its carrier mode. Here we have Pyramidas in his carrier mode, and if you thought the pyramid mode was stupid big, this thing is just ridiculously stupid big. And it kind of looks like a backwards Sphinx a little bit, like the Sphinx would be facing this way. But, in fact, the front of the carrier mode is right here. Now, mine does have a couple issues. It is missing a few pieces. There should be a little black piece. It's not racist, it's actually black. That you lift up, and it supports this front end right here. But unfortunately, mine doesn't have that little black piece. In fact, it's missing it's missing 2 of 3 black stands that actually helps the combined Ultrazord mode. So that is a little bit disappointing in my behalf, but it should still work as long as these are tight. It can still, well, it was able to hold a little bit of weight earlier, maybe, I don't know, we'll have to see. I'll play it by ear. I don't know. But that's basically it. And it still rolls. It rolls actually better than the pyramid mode, which is surprising. And it's absolutely massive. I can't imagine anyone with enough shelf space to display this thing. Now, for a quick size comparison, once again, here is the original Legacy Megazord. And it's kind of dark, I apologize. And it's big. It is really big. You could easily fit the Legacy Megazord on there and make him ride it like a surfboard. So this carrier mode does only support the Zeo Megazord and the Red Battlezord, and to get it into its carrier mode, what we need to do is we need to take the Zeo Zord apart and sit the individual Zords on various locations, kind of like a hobo or a squatter. And just like that, all of the core Zeo Megazord Zords, as well as the Red Battlezord, just sit on top of it. And that's it. Now, you might want to be kind of weary when you roll it, because none of these Zords are locked into place. So, I mean, yeah, it's you know, stuff is going to fall, and yeah. Now, the next mode that Pyramidas offers is, of course, his main Megazord mode, and it's pretty easy to get to from his carrier mode. So, without further ado, and with that, the conversion to Pyramidas Megazord mode is complete. And this guy is ridiculously big. Like, he is so freaking big. For a size comparison, here he is with that same Legacy Megazord we were looking at earlier. It is at least twice the size of him. And, get ready, this will blow your mind. Here he is next to the actual Millennium Falcon used in Star Wars The Force Awakens. This is the actual prop used in Star Wars The Force Awakens. And that's how big it is. Can you believe that? I mean, this is like a legit, like one-of-a-kind thing. I got it from a friend. He knew someone. It's super expensive, worth like $1 million. And it's perfectly in scale with Pyramidas. Now, Pyramidas, I keep sitting down and standing up because literally I just don't know how to film. Now, Pyramidas does have a bit of articulation. All he can do is move the arms. And he does have a nice elbow bend. And that's essentially it. Other than that, like most other Megazords, he is a brick. But, my god, what a brick. What a brick. Now, Pyramidas does have one more trick up his sleeve. And that is, of course, the Ultrazord mode. Now, unfortunately, this is where those missing parts really come into play. You can see down here there's a ramp. Fold the ramp down. Oh my god, what an action shot. You can fold the ramp down, and you'll notice there are missing spaces. I do have the bottom ramp, but there's another ramp that's supposed to sit right there, and another one that's supposed to sit down there. And unfortunately, I am missing both of those. But hell, I got a great deal on this Pyramidas. And essentially what you do, this guy just sits right there. The Zeozord 1 and 2, without their heads, would essentially sit down here. I mean, you can still kind of get it. The Zeozord 5 would sit right up there. And then you could get the bird one. And that would essentially just sit right up here on a little ramp. Then what you could do is fold this down. And take the red Battlezord and just stand it like that. You can't even see that. And then we twist the Midas over. And his arms do form cannons. Now, in order to form this Warrior Zeo Ultrazord, you really only need the red Battlezord to get the whole aesthetic of it. But it does serve as kind of a shelf, if you will, for all the other Zords, which is kind of cool. And that is his Battle Zeo mode. Now, in the show, also, one last thing. Now, in the show, the Super Zeozord Megazord could also form with Pyramidas. Essentially, what he would do is he would pop out, and he would just slide in right there. And you can actually get him to do that. So there's functionality all around with all the Zords, and that's why Pyramidas really is a keeper. Now, the great thing about Pyramidas is all of the amazing detail that we had in his Pyramid mode is still essentially there. It didn't go anywhere. But we have new details with this nice, ooh, I'm going to rub it like a Buddha, like this really nice red crystal detail spread throughout in his legs and in his belly, along with the really nice textured detail look of his face, which has like a really futuristic kind of really, I keep saying really cool look to it. God, I don't know how else to say it. This thing is just a masterpiece and so much fun to look at. Though I will say, because of its size, it is a bit kind of unwieldy. Even as an adult, it is hard to move it around. So, for young kids, this is definitely a little bit hard to handle. But for an adult, you know, I would imagine it's only going to sit on a shelf for a while, which makes this, you know, perfectly fine, though, if not just requiring a very, very large piece of real estate to display it in. Apart from that, Pyramidas is an absolute gorgeous, gorgeous Megazord, if not one of the most gorgeous Megazords. Do be mindful, though, sometimes when you find Pyramidas on the secondhand market, this piece right here, which is detachable in order to be accurate to the show and made completely out of rubber, is very, very hard to find. And 9 times out of 10, you're just going to find your Pyramidas missing this piece. And there's also a nice little gem right there, too, which is a nice little hidden detail. But do be sure that it comes with this rubber piece, as that is what completes the look of the Pyramid mode. Anyway, that does it for this review of Pyramidas. I hope you enjoyed it because I love this toy. If you're a fan of Power Rangers, this is definitely one of those Ultra Swords that you need. So, get on it. And from my understanding, this is still one of the largest Ultra Swords we've ever had. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review as much as I enjoyed making it. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook, and follow me on Instagram. I'm posting stuff on Instagram every day. All of those social media accounts are at the TF Review. And be sure to check back next Monday for another episode of Megazord Monday. We're done with Zeo. We're moving on to the next thing. So, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all in the next video.